Hi guys, this is Gunners Daily, and today we're gonna talk about Emiliano Martinez. So let's start. Some of you will probably be surprised by this, but it's been 10 years since Emi Martinez joined Arsenal. In 2010, he joined Arsenal Football Club Academy, coming from Argentinian club Independiente, and in 2012, he was promoted to the senior squad. Sure, he spent most of his time on loan, and he rarely had a chance to actually play for the first team, but nevertheless, he's been an Arsenal senior team player since 2012. But to put things even more into context, and for better understanding why everyone is talking about him, and how is it possible that Arsenal had such a top-class goalkeeper sitting on the bench as a reserve this whole time, let's go back and take a look at his career and progress since he joined Arsenal 10 years ago. With only 19 years of age, Martinez joined Arsenal's first team squad back in 2012, and of course, he was nowhere close to being a starter. But Arsene Wenger almost immediately decided to give him a chance, and he made his Arsenal debut in a third-round League Cup tie at home to Coventry City. But his next game, where he was once again a starter, was where things got more interesting. Fourth round Carabao Cup game versus Reading. And yes, I know what you're thinking. I'm talking about that game versus Reading, when Arsenal was trailing 4-0 at the halftime, only to win the game in the end, with the score being 7-5 for Arsenal. Anyway, that was the first time I even saw Martinez being a starter, and I remember that game vividly. I know we are talking about 2012 and him being only 19 years old at the time, but he really didn't leave a good first impression. With conceding 4 goals against Reading in the first 45 minutes of your debut, I remember most of the fans and media were pretty disappointed with his overall performance, and Arsenal had to decide what to do with him for the rest of the season. With Wojciech Szczęsny, Lukas Fabianski and Vito Manonne, for fuck's sake, being older and more reliable options at the time, Arsenal decided to send young Martinez on loan to Oxford United for the rest of the 2012-13 season. But even being there, they barely gave him any chance to play and prove himself, and he finished his spell with Oxford with only one appearance for the club. For the season 2013-14, Arsenal decided to send him on a new loan to Sheffield Wednesday, where he made 11 appearances. But once again, he didn't have any consistency throughout the season. Season 14-15, you guessed it, new loan. This time to Rotherham United, where he made only 8 appearances in the whole season. 2015-16 season, Arsenal finally decided to keep him in the squad and give him a chance as a second or third keeper. Just kidding, of course he was sent on a new loan. This time it was Wolverhampton, where he made 13 appearances. But for a 2016-17 season, Arsenal finally decided to give him a chance and made him a third choice keeper in the squad behind Peter Cech and David Ospina. He started in some cup games here and there, but again, Arsenal wasn't sure what to do with him for the next season. 2017-18 season. After spending a whole last season in the first team, Arsenal decided to keep him as a second option on the bench, with Peter Cech being in the obvious downfall and past his prime. Of course not. Another loan, they said. It will be fun, they said. The club sent him on a season-long loan to Getafe in La Liga, where he once again made only 8 appearances in the whole season. 2018-19 season. And Arsenal, yes, you guessed it again, decided to send him out on a new loan during the winter transfer window. This time, he went to play for Reading, where he surprisingly made 18 appearances for them until the loan expired and he went back to Arsenal for the beginning of this season. I find it fascinating that in the space of the last 7 years of his career, the club sent him on 6 different loans, and when you add up all of his appearances for those clubs, in total, he made only 56 appearances from 2012 to 2019 for all those clubs. So, here we are. 2019-20 season. Finally, after years and years of waiting, Arsenal made Emi Martinez their second choice goalkeeper behind Bernd Leno. But with Leno being one of the best players in the squad this season, Martinez rarely had an opportunity to prove himself. Well, until this happened.
Don't play, you're a cheat.
And with Leno being ruled out until the beginning of the next season due to his injury versus Brighton, very few people could have predicted what kind of gem we had sitting on our bench. Since he took over that number 1 spot with Bernd Leno being out, Emiliano Martinez has improved so much during these last few years that fans and media actually started questioning which of these two should be our number 1 keeper for the next season. Everyone stayed shocked with his performances over these last 9 games, and at the moment it seems unreal that we had such a top-class goalkeeper who was sitting on the bench this whole time. Now I'm not gonna go through all the comparisons and stats between them, simply because Leno already has 62 appearances for the club, while Martinez collected only 9 appearances this season, but you have all seen it for yourself, and I'm sure that most of you would agree with me that Emi Martinez is arguably been the best goalkeeper in the Premier League since the restart. Concentration, awareness, positioning, confidence, reactions, I mean, it's all there. Martinez is now 27 years old, and we could say that he is entering his prime. And what people most love about him is that he always publicly stated that he loves the club and he just wants to stay in Arsenal. Although Arsenal could have sold him and spending most of his time on loans, he always said that he wants to return to the club and fight for his place. After 10 years of hard work, going on loan after loan, he was patient and he was waiting for his opportunity to come. And when that finally happened, he proved both to himself and us fans that he is ready, and he will do whatever it takes to grab that #1 spot long term. Fans, and people in general, always love and support this type of rags to riches from hero to zero stories. And you can't blame them. I share the same opinion and happiness that a guy who I watched on his debut all the way back in 2012, when it was all just too much for him at that time, is now a legit starting 11 material for a club like Arsenal. He stayed and he proved himself against all odds. I think that I should maybe put some sad music now. Okay, but now let's talk about Bernd Leno. I've seen some fans and people on Twitter and social media who've been saying, we should sell Leno immediately and earn some cash. Who gives a fuck, we don't need him anymore. First of all, those people are fucking idiots. One of the main reasons why, in my opinion, Arsenal hasn't been so good and competitive over these last few years or so is simply because there weren't that much good players in the squad, and therefore half of the team always knew that they would be starting in the first 11 regardless of their latest performance. I mean, what? If Bellerin had a bad game, who is going to replace him next time? Carl Jenkinson? Carl Jenkinson? Don't get me wrong, Carl Jenkinson is the GOAT, and he is one of us, but I just want to point him out for the sake of comparison. If Nacho Monreal had a bad game, who was your next option on the bench? Kieran Gibbs? I mean, you see where I'm getting with this. Competition is good, and if you want to win trophies and be a challenger in every competition you're in, you need to have a great squad overall, not just your starting 11. Just look at Man City. They have 686 quality players in their squad that can jump in and replace anyone and anywhere if the manager wants them. So, no, we definitely shouldn't sell Bernd Leno, because Bernd Leno has arguably been our best player in the club this season alongside Aubameyang and Bukayo Saka. And I don't even intend to go through all the stats or clips to prove that he is a world-class goalkeeper. And if you think otherwise, please leave this video. Seriously, I don't care. But, if you do agree with me, feel free to click on the like button and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. I honestly think this is going to be one of the toughest decisions Mikel Arteta will have to make this summer before the start of the next season. And honestly, I can't even remember when was the last time Arsenal had two top quality goalkeepers in their squad. And don't you dare comment about Cech and Ospina. So in my opinion, we shouldn't be selling any of them too. My solution would be play Bernd Leno in the Premier League as our #1. And give Martinez more playing time and use him for the FA Cup, Carabao Cup and Europa League, if we even manage to qualify for that prestigious European competition. I think that would put some balance between them two, and in my opinion, that would probably be the best option. But what do you think? Do you agree with me on that one, or do you maybe have some other solution in your mind? Tell me in the comments, I'm really interested to hear you out. Thank you for watching, guys. I put a lot of time and effort in making all these videos, writing the script, audio, video editing and everything else. So if you liked my content, I would really appreciate it if you would hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Peace!